I'm Harley. Oh, wow, you can barely see me. Huh. Light changed. Okay. Hold on, I'll try to scoot closer. Is that a little better? Now I'm kind of washed out. Oh, well, whatever. Let's go. GOT, Season 7, Episode 4, The Spoils of War. So many fun things happen in this episode. I really like this episode. And this is another one. This is when I was reminded that I'm only watching one episode at a time, because at the end of this one, I went to hit the button and there's nothing that happens. Damn it. Just watching one episode at a time. It's going to kill me. It really is. Like, I get anxiety, like, about it, because even just thinking about the fact that I'm waiting right now for the season finale, it kills me. It really does. So, this episode opens. Dani is trying to decide how, again, to fight this war. She's at a loss now, because she had what she believed was this great plan. A 3-part plan that would allow her to accomplish her goals and really minimize the amount of damage to the common people. And now she's really, she's down to just her and her army again, and her dragons again. Instead of having the Tyrells, and instead of having the people of Dawn, she really is just, her plans. Cersei was a great strategist. She knocked it out. So Jon and Tyrion are trying to convince her she can't take her dragons and just go mow everybody down. She just can't, because if she sets the world on fire, she's becoming what every other leader has done. They have killed and slaughtered and murdered to get where they are. And that's why they have the fear of the people, but not the respect of the people. And Dani, her whole thing has been to try to not do that, to not be that kind of leader. And they're trying to explain to her that if she goes through with this plan, she will probably win. She will ultimately probably win, but not in the way that she wants. So they do talk her down a bit, as it were. Maybe not completely to the extent that they would like, but they do get her not to just ride off into battle immediately, with her still, hot with anger. And in trying to, gain Jon's trust a little bit, she agrees to let him mine the dragon glass. When he goes to do this, he discovers that the children of the forest had been there before, and they left carvings on the walls of the cave where they're going to mine. And he tells Dani, I need to show you this. I don't want to ruin it. I want you to see it before I have to ruin it, honestly. But he doesn't want to have to ruin it at all. But it depicts the children of the forest and man working together to fight the White Walkers thousands of years ago. And it's funny, because Dani's like, oh, are the children of the forest and the people fighting? And he says, no, they're working together. They have a common enemy. And it's really illustrative, I think, to her of where they're at now. They might have these human squabbles and these human ambitions, but really the goal is to live, right? That's what's really important, is to live, to have these ambitions. And if the White Walkers win, nobody's going to be left standing. And I think it's really finally kind of sinking into her that she might have to take a step back from her plans, her ultimate plans, just to ensure that she's around to be able to do them. And the paintings, I should say, the illustrations that they show, they're really beautiful. They really are. I kind of wonder, like, what becomes of those after the show is shot. But anyways, and we get a picture, or we get to an insight to Jaime and Bronn. The plan is, Cersei's been promising the Iron Bank that she's going to pay them back, because, Lannisters always pay their debts. Well, the plan now is to take the Tyrell's fortune and use that to pay back the Iron Bank. So Jaime and Bronn are, bringing this fortune back. They have the help of the Tarleys, and they make sure that the gold gets inside King's Landing, but they still have to get the rest of the troops and the supplies and everything else through the gate. And so we kind of get to see their travels, and Jaime keeps making Bronn all these promises and everything. But I'll come back to that in a minute. We also finally get to see Arya reach Winterfell and reunite with her brother Bran and her sister Sansa. And it's Arya's turn to find out who her siblings are. And really, it's Sansa's turn to find out who she is. We get to see Arya spar with Brienne of Tarth. And really, Brienne's like, well, who taught you this? And her answer, I loved it. It was, it's nobody. As much as that part of the show annoyed me, because I really wasn't into it. I felt like it was like it just kind of listed through, and it wasn't really engrossing for me. I loved that line later on, though, where she's like, nobody taught me this. Like, because they're all going to assume that she just taught herself and just picked this all up herself. They don't understand what she's saying. So it was funny to me because it's like an inside joke for the viewers. But it gives Sansa some idea of her little sister is not this helpless little thing. And if Sansa's smart, she now realizes the weapon that she has. I don't think she's there yet. I think she's more fearful. Sansa's not very trusting. Not that I blame her. I mean, with what she's been through, it's obvious that she has every right not to trust. But this is her little sister. She should, trust that her little sister wants to help her. I would hope, anyway. Their reunion in the crypt, though, it was really, really touching. I just loved it. I just was like screaming at the screen. Just go hug her, damn it. I think Arya kind of gets to see Sansa in her element. I mean, she's always wanted to be the lady of the manor, and here she is doing it. She's making sure that they have the stores supplies for winter. She's making sure that the people have the right armor, that they're insulating well, that they're taking these precautions and all of these things. She's really in her element doing what she does. And so they both kind of get to glimpse each other in their adult lives, and they haven't done that. They've been apart for years. So it was really a really good reunion. So Jon gets to talk to Missandei a little bit without Dany's presence. And I think it gives Jon some insight into Dany, because I think he, up until this point, had kind of felt like these people were following her because they had to. And this is his chance to really see that they are following her because they want to. Because she is the leader that they have chosen, much as he is the king that has been chosen by his people. They're parallels of each other. And I don't think he had understood that up until this conversation with Missandei. It's really enlightening to him to learn that they're both in the same position, just having started on different sides of the world. And now here they are, needing to work together, and really mirrors of each other. It was really an interesting conversation that he had with her. And I thought it was a pretty, it was bringing to light, not even bringing to light, but reminding the viewer too of his parentage, or what he thinks his parentage is, and how to certain people that's not going to matter. I think to him it matters a lot more because of how he was raised, and because the woman who raised him didn't respect him. It's got to be hard for the mom, but I can't remember her name now. Kate? No, that's not it. Catelyn? Anyways, it was hard for her, of course, but knowing what we know now, it wasn't Ned who cheated. So it was a big step for Ned to have taken to have said that it was his son, even though it wasn't. And it was for everyone's safety, really. So it was an interesting conversation to have seen. Now, my favorite part, this battle that ended the show, or this episode, it was amazing. For me, it was just like Battle of the Bastards. I was sitting on the edge of my seat the whole time, because the Tarleys and Jaime and the army, they think they have it won. I mean, they think that the hardest part is over. They know that there's more battles ahead, and they haven't really addressed, how they're going to take out Dany or whatever. But they really think at this point, having taken out the Tarleys, having taken out Alleria and the Dawnish people, that alliance, not really the Dawnish people, but breaking that alliance down, they think they have this ultimately won. They might be some steps that they have to take, but they're really feeling victorious right now. And then she rides in on the dragon. And I was like screaming. It was amazing. I was actually, at one point, I watch the episodes usually in pieces. Sometimes I watch a little bit on my phone. Sometimes I watch a little bit on our TV. Sometimes on the computer, just because I have to do it when the kids aren't around. I mean, it's not a kid-friendly programming. And there's certain times that they walk into the room, I'm like, okay, I got to stop this, and we're going to go do something else. But I'm I was watching this particular part of this episode on the computer with headphones, and I'm like screaming at it, and Ivy's like, dude, chill out. And I'm like, you don't understand. she thought I was nuts. Well, and you know, she's not really wrong. So it was great to see Braun's reaction, because he's just like, oh yeah, you want to kill a dragon? Go do it, man. Jamie, have at it. And Jamie's like, but I got one hand. I can't do this with one hand. And so Braun's really forced to step up, very reluctantly. I mean, you can see it in his face. He doesn't want to do this at all, especially as the dragon is like peering at him, like ready to like shoot fire in his face. And he's like, okay, I've got one shot, like better make it count. So it's interesting that we get to see that the bolt, this giant, like basically, what do you call those things? Not a slingshot. It's a bow and arrow, but it's with a trigger. Fucking A, I can't remember. Damn mommy brain. It just all goes. It just goes. Anyways, so he's got this thing. He's got this one shot, and he's got to make it count. But it's interesting. We get to see that it does pierce the dragon's hide, because regular arrows weren't doing that. So at least we see that it can do damage, but really, it doesn't hurt the dragon that much. I mean, he's able to land. He doesn't like fall from the sky or anything. And he really just kind of like, I mean, Dani gets down and she like pulls it out, and it just pissed him off. I mean, I imagine it's like a thumbtack, a lion stepping on a thumbtack. Like, it's annoying and they're going to feel it, but ultimately it's just going to make them mad. It's not going to slow them down at all. So this weapon that they thought they had that was going to take out the dragons really is not going to do them any advantages. And because he's pissed off, he's going to take everybody out. So the dragon mows down like all the Tarleys. I think there's maybe a handful left. It's really, really impressive. And I think it's good. They've been, Jamie has been told that these savages that Dani brought with her, that they're going to be, you know, not able to battle in this war, that they're not going to be able to do any of these things, that they really don't have any fighting skills. They don't have to worry about it. And Jamie sees that they might be savages. They might not wear armor like the way that he's used to seeing armor, and they might not have these formations like he's used to having soldiers in formations, but they are good at killing. They're good at fighting. They can stand on horses and shoot bows and arrows for the love. I mean, you don't see his soldiers doing that. They stand there with a friggin' shield and make a wall and hope that nobody breaks the wall. I mean, it's a good fighting thing up to a point, but I mean, really, these guys, they get to see that these savages are going to fight and enjoy this fighting, and if they die for their queen, they are more than willing to do that. And I think that's something that the Tarleys, like, they're fighting, but they're being paid to fight, so they're a little bit reluctant. It's not that they won't do it, but you can see it in their faces that they're not really in it, and unless you have that passion and that drive, it's not going to make you the best soldier you can be. So they don't love their queen the way that the Drakari love their queen. So it really does set a tone for this fight. And it's Dani taking back some of all that was taken from her in the last 2 episodes. I mean, she was hit and then she was hit again. And this is her way of saying, you know what? You might have ruined my initial plan, but I'm still going to beat your asses. So it was really fun. I've actually went back and watched almost this entire episode because I loved it. I loved it so much. I loved the ending of it, not knowing where Jamie is or if he's alive or whatnot. It's a great place to end the episode. Don't get me wrong. It really is. But at the same time, I just needed more. I needed to watch more. I still feel like I need to watch more. So I'm probably going to go do that. Let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to y'all real soon. Bye.